You know the story of Paul Revere, a silversmith who rode 12 miles on a clear night to warn of a British advance. It's an American legend. But this is the story of Sybil Ludington. On a night twice as long, in a storm twice as fierce, this 16-year-old girl rode 40 miles alone to save an entire American regiment from annihilation. And her name has been all but erased. It's April 1777. The American Revolution is on a knife's edge. The British, based in New York City, launch a raid to destroy a massive cache of Continental Army supplies in Danbury, Connecticut. On April 26th, 2,000 British regulars storm Danbury and burn it to the ground. The only hope is the local militia, scattered across the countryside, completely unaware the enemy is in their midst. The militia commander, Colonel Henry Ludington, receives the terrible news at his farm, but cannot leave his post. Someone else must ride to rally his men. His men were spread over a 40-mile radius across dense forest, treacherous swamps, and unmarked trails. It was a suicide mission for any rider, let alone a young girl. But Sybil knew the terrain. She knew where every militiaman lived. Without hesitation, she stepped forward and said, "I will do it." Just after 9 p.m., as a violent spring storm lashed the Hudson Valley, 16-year-old Sybil Ludington mounted her horse Star and vanished into the darkness. Her mission? Ride through the night and rally 400 militiamen to her father's command. Her route was a rough, jagged circle through modern-day Putnam and Dutchess counties. She started in Carmel, shouting the alarm. "The British are burning Danbury, muster at Ludington's." There was no time to wait for responses. She was a human alarm bell. The woods weren't empty. The neutral ground was infested with outlaws, loyalists, and British scouts. Every shadow could be an enemy. Her only weapon was a stick. The rain turned creeks into raging rivers. Trails became quagmires. Lightning flashes were her only light, followed by pitch blackness. By the time she reached the final houses in Kent and Farmers Mills, she and her horse were on the brink of collapse. But she didn't stop. She completed the entire 40-mile circuit, returning home just before dawn. As the sun rose, Sybil's ride had its effect. Thanks to her, over 400 militiamen had mustered at her father's farm, tired, angry, and ready to fight. This force, which would not have existed without Sybil, harried the British on their retreat to the coast. They fought at the Battle of Ridgefield, slowing the enemy and inflicting casualties. The British raid, while destructive, failed to break the American spirit in the region. In fact, it strengthened it. General George Washington would personally thank Colonel Ludington and his men. The revolution in New York was saved, all set in motion by the courage of one teenage girl. So why does everyone know Paul Revere and almost no one knows Sybil Ludington? Revere's ride was immortalized by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's poem 86 years later. Sybil had no famous poet. Her story was simply overlooked. A woman's contribution, no matter how vital, was often seen as secondary. But the facts are undeniable. Paul Revere rode 12 miles on a dry night, was captured, and others spread his warning. Sybil Ludington rode 40 miles, alone, in a torrential storm, and successfully rallied an entire regiment. By any measure, hers was the more incredible feat. Today, we are finally giving Sybil her due. She represents the countless unsung women who built this nation with equal courage and sacrifice. Her story proves that heroism has no gender. So the next time you hear the story of Paul Revere, remember the name Sybil Ludington. Remember the 16-year-old girl who faced down the night, the storm, and the enemy, and rode into history. If you want to hear about another forgotten hero of the Revolution, watch our video on the first American spy right here.